Ever since I can remember, I've longed to understand life. I wanted to know the cause of everything, and my favorite childhood question was, why? I often wondered, why is life the way it is? Why do people act the way they do? And why am I the way I am? Yet it didn't help to explain how God fit into my life. I didn't believe in the punishing God of my Catholic upbringing, but instead felt its presence as warm and loving. Whenever I'm out in nature, especially near the ocean, I'm awed by God's beauty and power. Imagine, if you will, is like a hidden code, a sacred blueprint that underlies everything in existence. These are not man-made laws constrained by time or geography, but cosmic laws that are timeless and universal. They don't govern your actions with the threat of punishment, but rather guide your life toward greater wisdom and fulfillment. They have shaped your past and they will shape your future, but most importantly, they can illuminate your present. There is a set of unchanging and universal laws that the universe follows, and these laws direct our lives in the direction of greater wisdom and fulfillment. These are not laws created by humans that are constrained by time or geography. Rather, they are laws of the cosmos that shape our history, our present, and our future. When we investigate these laws, we discover not just information, but also transformation, not just knowledge, but also insight. Everything in the universe operates on a set of universal laws or principles that cannot be broken. These laws are always in effect, no matter where you are. Some of these laws are physical, while others are quantum or spiritual. The spiritual laws are just as reliable as the physical laws and affect every aspect of life on Earth. The physical laws that govern our universe are constant, unchanging, and essential for life, but the unseen spiritual laws are just as important. Do you know them? I'd like to introduce you to Bob. Bob is about to have a very bad day. You see, Bob works on the second story of a corporate office building, and he's gotten it into his head that gravity isn't quite the big deal everyone makes it out to be. This is why, despite his co-workers' frantic warnings, Bob is confidently striding toward the open window of a corner office. "Bob!" shouts a concerned friend. "Have you lost your mind?" You see, Bob works on the second story of a corporate office building, and he's gotten it into his head that gravity isn't quite the big deal everyone makes it out to be. This is why, despite his co-workers' frantic warnings, Bob is confidently striding toward the open window of a corner office. With one foot already on the sill, Bob turns around with a confident grin. "Don't worry," he assures the panicked crowd. "I don't believe in gravity anymore." Thankfully, most people aren't like Bob. Most of us know what the law of gravity does and unconsciously shape our actions around it. The spiritual laws of God are eternal and constant, much like gravity. Every day they go about doing their thing as usual. Not an exemption. The instructions God gives us in the Bible also help us understand how the spiritual laws around us work, just as scientists have created equations to assist us in better understanding the physical laws of our universe. As you journey into the heart of the cosmos, you encounter 5 potent laws that act as a blueprint for the universe. Let's go deeply into each one so that you can begin to create your dream life with these profound principles. 5. The law of divine oneness. Have you ever felt disconnected from the abundant flow of the universe? Or do you struggle to manifest the abundance you desire in your life, despite your best efforts? All of us are interconnected, including your dog, your boss, the tilapia you had for dinner, and Dwayne, the annoying barista at your neighborhood cafe. That's correct. You and Dwayne share a common origin and are related energetically. Because our egos are so adept at emphasizing our uniqueness and differences, this could be difficult to accept. Of all, that only considers the physical plane of reality. We are also distinct persons. I am the same energy that you are, expressed physically. The same source of energy manifests physically in all living things. This is a concept of the divine oneness. I consider this law in light of the reality that we are all essentially composed of stardust. We are all composed of the same atoms that were created by particles in the Big Bang, or the origin of the universe, as stated in the Smithsonian documentary, We Are All Stardust. You may choose to think that this was a product of divine design, but I prefer to think that source energy was involved. Because we are all created of the same material, we are all pieces of the same puzzle and portions of the same whole. There are particles within you and particles within me. The divine within me recognizes the divine within you, or something similar if you're spiritual. We are linked to each other by this ongoing process of creation. Are we really separate beings, or different iterations and expressions of the same particles and elements? In a more spiritual sense, however, we can say that we were all created from the same essence of source, the Spirit, God, Goddess, Universe, Jesus, Muhammad, etc. Each of us is a manifestation of this boundless energy source. Individually, each of us is a source of energy, and as a group, we produce the experiences that mold our physical reality. Ever heard of expressions such as love thy neighbor, what goes around comes around, treat others how you want to be treated, karma, threefold rule, etc.? These ideas and expressions originate from the concept of divine oneness or the law of divine oneness. Here, I share my experience. I felt exhausted all year, and it took me a while to realize that my external environment, COVID, politics, gun laws, abortion rights, religious freedoms, etc., was draining my energy. When I realized that these external forces were causing my internal feelings, I was able to make a conscious change to protect my energy. Divine oneness gives us the ability to determine how open we are to the external forces that we encounter. By practicing meditation, we can decide to let go of the negativity in our environment and surround ourselves with healing and love. Now that you understand this law, you're probably like, okay, cool, Bray, but what do I do with this information? Great question. How to use the law of divine oneness to manifest what you want. We do not use the law of divine oneness, but when we comprehend it, it modifies our actions and establishes a connection with a profound force. By concentrating on our emotions and behavior in this life, we can use the concept of interconnectedness to cause ripple effects that last across our lives. In other words, to manifest the things you want, you have to trigger the avalanche of positive outcomes. By changing your frequency of vibration, you can initiate this cascading effect. If you've been one of my longtime followers, you probably already practice this kind of learning and healing through practices like trauma recovery, meditation, letting go of perfectionism, growing in compassion, etc. Do that. You probably already know what makes you feel more energized. Don't make this too complicated. Be mindful of your thoughts, actions, and behavior, for they send waves throughout the universe, and since we're all connected, what goes around comes back around in some form. 4. Law of correspondence. We've all heard of the law of attraction, but I'm sure you never heard before about the law of correspondence. This is probably one of the most important universal laws we know of. The law of correspondence says that our current reality is a mirror of what is going on inside us. Our reality is a result of our innermost dominant thought. What happens around us is a direct reflection of what is happening within us. Our internal environments determine our external environments. As Anita Moorjani says in her book Dying to Be Me, the universe is contained within us, and what we experience externally is only a reflection. What you're manifesting is a reflection of your feelings. And get ready for this. Your present circumstances reflect your previous emotions. Oh no, this idea may sting a little if you're anything like me. I had to ask myself a vulnerable question. How much of my current experience was manifested because I thought this would be the outcome before I started? When I think about it, I've always had three things: a deep-seated pessimism that I couldn't shake, a fear of failing, and a need to prove my worth. I came to the painful realization that no one else I could hold responsible for my current circumstances. So, be gentle with yourself. None of us were born with everything figured out. You stumbled upon this information when you were ready to hear it, and not a moment before. The universe is always conspiring to help you grow. How to manifesting with the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence is ruled by our internal world emotions, expectations, beliefs, etc. So one of the most powerful ways to manifest what we want is to shift this internal environment by practicing appreciation. Now, I used to cringe every time I heard this too. So before you roll your eyes, hear me out. I had been there, done that, with the gratitude practices in my mind, and they had not been beneficial. I would constantly ask myself, why is this what every spiritual nut says? I was sick of hearing that, to be honest, but one day I heard it differently. Gratitude isn't about doing, it is about being. I was so busy trying to do gratitude right and fit it into my schedule that I wasn't present in the practice. It was a box to check. It was just more stuff to do. Imagine, if your partner did something thoughtful, take that moment to feel your appreciation and love for them. See how long you can stay in that feeling, and notice how you feel afterward. Do this for every person who lets you over while driving, gives you a free coffee, or holds the door open for you, and you will start to notice something remarkable. These kinds of situations will happen more often, giving you more opportunities to be grateful. The universe will provide us with additional reasons to be thankful the more grateful we are. We pay attention to what is given back to us. Finding opportunities to express thankfulness will lead to the emergence of more circumstances, opportunities, and grateful emotions. 3. The law of vibration. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts and emotions influence your day-to-day life? Perhaps you have experienced moments where you were in a great mood and everything seemed to go your way, or times when you felt down and nothing seemed to go right. The law of vibration states that these experiences are the outcome of the energy you release into the universe, not just random events. Everything has a vibrational frequency. Every object, thought, emotion, job, house, friend, movie, restaurant, everything has a vibration that it emits and receives. But what is vibrational frequency? Within our cells, the rate at which the electrons, protons, and neutrons of our atom oscillate is referred to as vibrational frequency. Since atoms are the fundamental units of matter, they are responsible for the creation of our physical world. Cells make up everything and everyone. Something's frequency indicates the speed and complexity of its vibrating pattern. We might describe something as having a higher vibration, higher energy, or higher frequency if it vibrates rapidly. Understanding what is the law of vibration is crucial because it underlines the connection between our internal vibrational energy and the external world. Manifesting is about syncing your own vibrational frequency with the specific frequency of your desires. Your frequency is unique to you, like a personal signature of vibrational energy. To understand what is the law of vibration, you must recognize that you are made of pure energy in constant motion. Your vibrational frequency is influenced by your emotional states, both positive and negative. You can easily affect the physical reality around you and maintain higher vibrations by mastering your ideas and, additionally, your feelings. What is the law of vibration in daily life? It's recognizing that your body, mind, and spirit are not just in space but are part of a vibrant, energetic network. Every positive affirmation, every act of kindness, and every moment of expressed gratitude sends ripples of high-frequency energy throughout your life. How do you manifest with the law of vibration? To be able to answer how to manifest with the law of vibration, I will need to take you a little deeper into this powerful universal law. According to the fundamental principle known as the law of vibration, everything in the cosmos, from your thoughts to the universe as a whole, moves in a circular motion and is always vibrating. Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, along with modern quantum physicists, recognize that looking at the universe in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration provides a new way of understanding how we can manipulate our vibrational frequency to manifest our desires. Napoleon Hill mentions the importance of emotional states in his writings, suggesting that our dominant emotional state is what dictates the vibrational match we create in our lives. Every positive thought and vision board you create sends out a specific vibrational frequency. When you concentrate on what you desire with all your mental power, you align your brain's vibrational energy with the vibrational pattern of your goals. 2. The law of rhythm. According to the law of rhythm, everything is cyclical and change is unavoidable. This law describes the process of going through different stages of life or changing seasons. According to the law of rhythm, the universe's energy is similar to a pendulum. Anything that swings to the right must always swing to the left. The universe is a dance, with everything sloped, flowing, and swinging back and forth. Everything is in a state of growth or decay. The law of rhythm demonstrates the beautiful orchestration of the world around us as we dance through life, fading in and out of various seasons. From the rhythm of our breath circulating in and out, to the seasons changing, world economies peaking and collapsing, a woman's monthly cycle, waves crashing in and pulling out. Our world is in a constant state of movement, ebbing and flowing through various states. The law of rhythm and manifestation. The law of rhythm encourages us to see the beauty in every phase of life, to have a glass-half-full perspective even when shit sucks, because things will always sway and cycle back to the way you want them, eventually. Every time things get better, they'll alter again and lead back to what you wanted. Like the law of relativity, this law tells us to persevere through any difficult times because better things are always on the way. Comparable to a loving grandmother, this law will always be there to support and laugh with you during good times and bad. Since the majority of us are unable to enjoy life's blessings eternally, this law may be misunderstood as justification for pessimism. When you hear this concept, you might be thinking, if something negative is always around the corner in the next cycle, then why bother trying? Why manifest anything for ourselves? Hear me out. For example, you could be moving into a new phase of life where you're focusing less on your career and more on your family. You could be ending a cycle of grinding and entering a cycle of rest. 1. Law of polarity. Have you ever thought about how you recognize good as good only because it is bad in the world? How you can identify hot because there's cold in the world, and how you can experience love because there's hate in the world? Everything is dual in the world. You can't have a positive without a negative. This is exactly what the law of polarity states. The law of polarity states that there is an opposite for everything in our world. This is necessary for balance within our universe. Everything has a duality and a built-in opposite that cannot exist without the other. If one side has the potential to exist, by the law of polarity, the opposite expression has to exist also. The polar ends are both extremes of the same continuum. They're just as alike as they are different. In fact, it is often said that love and hate are similar emotions. This is a perfect example of the law of polarity and a great explanation as to why love can often turn to hate, and hate can so closely resemble love. Same spectrum, opposite ends, easy to flip between. Try to give something away for every present we receive. Give someone else an opportunity for every one you get. Make someone else smile for every happy moment we have. The gift that keeps on giving, and you will align with more opportunities of like polarity. Using the law of polarity to manifest. Do you remember the quantum physics particle wave theory? It says that the result is determined by the expectations of the observer. This indicates that you are drawing the appropriate bundle or coin. Nevertheless, you must alter your perspective to attract the desired side of the bundle, namely the side of prosperity and abundance. The first step is to establish this as expected. Your attention takes on forms. As an example, if you have manifest wealth on your list, but when you think about having wealth, thoughts like, but I probably won't ever have it, or I don't believe this will work for me, that means your intent of having the abundance is in direct conflict with your beliefs. Because your emotions are energy in motion, that means that you're hitting the brakes on one side. If this energy is stronger than your intent, you're throwing the whole car into reverse. Okay, well now my analogy is messed up, but you get what I mean. If this video opened new perspectives for you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts, experiences, or any questions in the comments below. Your engagement helps us all grow and learn together. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to participate in this journey with your comments.